Welcome to a field. Right now this is just a grassy field, and as you can see, it's kind of mucky, not great for playing sports, but we see this as an opportunity to actually turn this into an outdoor classroom. And so there are actually plants that are native to Missouri that would be great for butterflies, like monarchs and swallowtails, and so we want to plant those here. And that's what we're doing this Acorn Day. And so actually the third graders have been studying this area, comparing it to some other areas around here. And they've noticed that this area does not have a lot of biodiversity. So they're working on a plan to actually put in plants like ninebark and buttonbush and blue lobelia that will actually attract butterflies and even serve as food for monarchs. We'll also be putting in swamp milkweed, which is actually a host plant for monarchs. And this place, instead of just being a grassy field that basically no one uses right now, will become an outdoor classroom. All right, so this soil here is soil right from the ground, and we have the soil all around us. And so actually our fourth graders came out and tested the soil here. And so what they found by doing a couple of different tests, testing its texture, testing how water goes over it, found that this soil has about 36% clay content. And I think we all know that. We've got a lot of clay in our soils. But that is important data for us. So when we plant in this area, or anything else around the school is planting, if you know about your soil, you can pick the right plants and figure out a maintenance plan that makes sense. And our fourth graders actually came up with that data. We compared it to what the USDA found, and we had similar results. That is how science works. In our garden here, we grow things like lettuces, onions, kale. We've got some carrots planted. And one of the things that you have to do when you grow plants is you've got to have good soil. And so one of the things that we do here at Oak Hill is we actually compost. And we take that compost and we add it back to our soil. And that's great, but how do we get this compost? That's where this comes in. It's just a banana peel, right? Some people would throw this away in trash. But you know what? This is a valuable resource. And that's what we want to do. So we actually want to turn this banana peel and all our other food waste, and also branches that come down from trees, grass clippings, things like that, and turn this into compost that we can add back into our soil. When we build our new compost bins, we'll actually be able to compost more of the food waste that we generate, and we'll be able to turn it back into compost even faster. So we'll be able to rebuild our soils and grow more things like lettuce to eat at lunch. So these are our compost bins here at Oak Hill Day School, and they work. They're great. We actually do make a lot of compost that we add into our garden. But one of the challenges here is we just have these two bins. And so imagine the compost club coming out here and they're like, Mr. Cole, somebody's there. How can we compost too? So one of the things that we want to do this year is actually rebuild our compost infrastructure. And so we'll not only expand the amount of space that we have in order to make more compost, but we'll be able to actually give more kids the opportunity to stir, to sift, to actually manage the bins. And that's really exciting. I mean, kids are excited about compost, so that I find to be fantastic. So that's really one of the exciting things here. Imagine this bin, but more of these bays. Each one of these is a bay. There will be eventually about 5 or 6 of these bays in here. That will allow us to actually compost virtually all of our organics, like our food waste that we generate here at Oak Hill. We'll also be able to take all of our landscape waste, which we have done this last year. Actually, all of these wood chips are from branches that were either trimmed from the trees or that came down in storms. So that's really cool. We're not sending any of this material away to a landfill. We're not paying to ship it off. We're actually keeping it here, and we're turning it back into something that we can put back into the soil.